It seems like everybody is talking about the morning routine that they use to get themselves ready to take on the day. And today I'm going to be sharing mine with you. What is up, people? Jean Carlos here with the Total Body Training Podcast, and today's episode is my morning routine. I should preface this by saying that everyone that I know of in the tech space, or all these self-growth developers like Tony Robbins and Tim Ferriss, all of these really crazy detailed morning routines. Mine is very simple. So if you're looking for some really ironclad way you can do that, if you're a little bit more simple like myself, you can just do something like what I do. Maybe it'll help you, maybe it won't. I don't even think that you have to have anything that's perfect, but this is what helps me. So let's begin. The first thing I do is I get up and I pee. Completely naked, I go to the restroom, I pee. I am foggy-eyed, I'm not a morning person, I don't love waking up in the morning. And then from there, I walk over completely butt-ass naked into my living room where my scale is. I have a small apartment, so we put the scale there, not in the bathroom, because our bathroom's teeny tiny. It doesn't quite fit in there comfortably. Yes, the scale doesn't fit in there comfortably. So I go in, I weigh myself, check it in, write down my weight, and then I walk into the kitchen. Now, in the kitchen, I do something super important. I pour myself my energy juice, my coffee. And what I do is I get out 50 grams, I weigh this out, 50 grams of Blue Island coffee. Any flavor of Blue Island coffee will do. I like it because it's not super expensive. It's also not the cheapest, the cheap coffee. It's like somewhere in the middle, and it just tastes good. That's just it. It's one of those things that I like paying a little bit extra for my coffee, so that's why I get that. And, usually I get the Hammock Reserve or the Sunset Blend, and, I just drink those. I've got a bunch in my kitchen. Now, I pour mine out on a food scale, and I use a Bone Vita. I think it's 1500, I believe. That is a pour over machine that I have because I like fancy coffee. And I put my little cone cup thingy that the pour over device needs to be weighed on. And I weigh out how much my coffee right there, 50 grams, put it under the coffee maker, and voila, I've got enough coffee for two for me and my girlfriend. And then I go in the bathroom while that's making coffee. I wash my face. I do all the basic stuff, toiletry stuff, get myself all pretty, put on makeup. Just kidding. I do all that stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with doing that. I do all that stuff, and then I come back into the kitchen, and by that point, my coffee has been waiting for me. So I pour myself a cup, and I pour my girlfriend a cup, and that she's gonna take with her to work. That way things are easier for her when she gets out. And from there, I make myself a shake. Now, I put in, the brand that I use is Pure Whey Protein Powder. It's by SFH. And the reason I get it is because it's grass-fed whey. It's all natural. It's 100% non-GMO. There's no soy, which is really important to me. And it's gluten-free, which isn't as important to me. But if it's a protein powder, it probably shouldn't have a lot of that junk in it. And there's no artificial stuff in it. And it's certified. So everything on here, as far as I know, is true. It's certified through the NSF. Now, I'm really picky, if you know me, about supplements and the supplements I take. A lot of them are just not that great because the supplement industry is unregulated, so you can't really trust what's on those labels. But if the protein is third-party tested, which the protein I use is, then you can use that. Now, sometimes I use micellar casein from a different company, not from Pure. That's called Ascent Protein. I periodically use that, but I usually use that more in the nighttime for nighttime recovery. And, honestly, sometimes if I see that the micellar casein is on sale at the vitamin store or wherever I go to get a supplement, then I eat that because I'm still a new company and I'm on a budget and I want to save some money. So oftentimes that stuff will be on sale. Now, I know there's a debate as to whether or not you should take casein earlier on in the day. Protein for me is protein. I figure, it's fine if I take it during the day or if I take it during the evening. So that's why I do that. Would it be better, I suppose, if I took it in the evening? That's the rumor with casein, that it helps you for nighttime recovery. If there's any truth to that, that might be the case. But, I'm saving a few dollars when I do that. So that's why I do it. Just being 100% honest. Now, the next thing I do is I make sure that I've thrown in, I use a magic bullet, and I throw in some spinach, I throw in some almond milk that is 30 calories. It's got like no carbs or any of that junk, or coconut milk, either one or the other. Don't really do dairy, not because I'm dairy phobic, I just don't do it. And I don't really do like soy milk because it's, and as far as I know, not good for your hormones. So I do almond milk and I pour that in there. I put in some spinach because I like some greens in the morning. And depending on if I'm cutting or if I'm massing, I have fat. Right now I'm not having any fats, I'm just maintaining. And I'm not having any fats for breakfast, I should say. So I do that. Now, would it be better if I had like egg whites or something else in the morning? Maybe, but my requirements for basing right now are that I have 50 grams of protein in the morning. And so that can come from any source. And that's why I have the whey protein shake, because it's easy for me. I don't like to wake up super early. I wake up with just enough time for me to go on and get the rest of my morning started and get shit done. So, I like to soak in some extra sleep in the morning. I know there are some people out there who wake up at the ass crack of dawn, but I am not one of those people, and I don't care to be. You can do that if you want. If it works for you, that's great. I find that I get enough work done with the time that I have in the mornings and throughout the day. So from there, what I do is I have my shake, and I actually set out my girlfriend's shake, just a kindness thing. I put in her spinach and her cup, her Ninja cup. Nope, it's not a Ninja cup. It's the other kind of cup. And from there, what I do is I step away, and a magic bullet cut, I had to remember. And then I step away, I drink my shake, and while I'm drinking my shake, I check text messages and I check emails. And I wish I didn't have to do this in the morning. I'll be honest with you. Sometimes you can get bad news in the morning. It's not the best thing to start off your day with. Sometimes there's something waiting for you that you don't want to hear first thing in the morning, and it can be a little disruptive. But I try my best not to be emotional about these things, and I just try to be focused. And I'm like, okay, like something bad happened, or oh shit, I've got to resolve that, or oh, that's going on in the world today, or something like that. I let that kind of marinate in my head. If someone sent me a message or a text or an email, I typically don't respond to it right then and there because I don't want to. The mornings for me are kind of like checking in on what's going on and making sure that there isn't some kind of crisis. If there's a crisis with one of my clients or something like that, then I'll message them back. But if I think it's less important, yeah, I know I sound like a dick saying that, but if I think that what you're talking about is less important, I don't resolve it right then and there. I wait until later on because the morning times are a time when my mind is a little bit more quiet and I can, think a little bit in a more creative way. So from here, there are a handful of things that happen. And I don't always do the same thing, although I think I should. I just want to be 100% honest with you. My morning routine can change every few months, usually. Now, over the course of the week, usually what I do is I take a 30-minute walk. I go to a conventional gym that is on the way to total body training, and I walk on a treadmill for about 30 minutes. And initially when I started doing this, I wanted to start off by walking in the park near my house. But I use the treadmill because it allows me to then answer my messages or do any kind of creative work. So I use Canva on my phone. So when I get to the gym, I can actually sometimes edit photos that I'm going to post on Instagram, make sure that all my scheduled posts are coming out correctly while I'm taking my walk. And, when you're walking on a treadmill, you don't have to watch out for tripping over a rock or something like that. So it helps me to do that. And also, too, I can check the time on the treadmill and the pace that I'm walking at. If I'm walking out in nature, I will end up walking slower because I have to look around and things like that. Would I like to be walking outside? Yeah. At this time, though, my morning routine, I incorporate work in what I'm doing in the morning because I can do it passively. So that morning cardio is just to get my blood pumping. I'm not looking for anything intense, just looking to get my body going. I find that if I do some vigorous movement in the morning that I feel much better. And, if I knock out some of the work that I'm going to be, doing throughout the day now, little things, then I feel better. So that's exactly why I edit those photos. And then if I finish up editing photos, putting them on Instagram, things like that, or scheduling things, I go ahead and start answering emails and things like that. And from there, I just go ahead after that 30 minutes. Sometimes I do some ab work, sometimes I don't. and then I head into total body training. So I come in here, I get set up for my day, I turn on the music, turn on the lights, and we get going as soon as my class people show up. All right, people, that's pretty much my morning routine. Now, sometimes I deviate from that a little bit if there's something that I absolutely have to do. So let's say that there was a problem editing a video the night before that I set up. So sometimes I edit and then I render videos overnight, or I upload them overnight on my computer. So I just set them to upload to YouTube and then I leave. If I wake up, and this has happened before, and something happened where the video is wrong, maybe the internet crashed or something weird like that, it's rare, I will fix that then and there because it's important for me to get that out. So I will skip the morning walk and work on that. Do I love doing that? No, but until I have a better system, that's what I'm doing every now and then. Yeah, so sometimes I do deviate a little bit from that, but for the most part, I'm at least walking on the treadmill and answering messages between 3 to 5 days a week. Now that varies a little bit on the weekends. On the weekends, sometimes like on Saturday, instead of going for that morning walk, I go into the grocery store and I do a morning walk in the grocery store at H-E-B, and I pick up my groceries and I get everything ready because Sunday I'm gonna meal prep. Sundays, again, I do not do a morning walk. What I do is I get up and I meal prep. That's what I do. After I've done most of my morning stuff, I meal prep. That's what I do on Sundays. All right, people, there are a lot of awesome people out there who have some really great advice about morning routines. I find that this is what works best for me right now. I've done other things in the past. Sometimes I do creative work in the mornings in the past, or sometimes I read some passages to get my mind right. Really, my morning routine is flexible. So every few months I will change it to find something that I think suits me a little bit better for where I'm at that time and where I'm at business-wise or where I'm at mentally. It's something that I feel that I need to constantly refine. And there are times in my life where I feel like it's been better and times where I feel like it's been worse, but that's what I'm doing right now. All right, people, thank you so much for tuning in today to the Total Body Training Podcast. Until next time, peace.